Hey, what's up? It's your boy Paul Brantley. We're gonna get into the Housewives, of Miami, season 5, reunion part 2. We continue where we left off at, where Alexis was going where we left off at. Alexis was coming. She was coming for Lisa, saying saying if Lisa thought of herself as a star and had confidence, she wouldn't allow Lenny to do the things that he did to her. And this is when everybody was like, "What?" And this is when Lisa's reaction was, "What?" Lisa went, "You're wrong." Lisa went, "You're wrong for that." And Lisa was explaining to her like, I was trying to explain how you come off to people like this, and it's not right. And so we move on from there. Andy ended up asking Alexis, do she have any apologies to do she have any apologies? Because he wanted to wrap this scene up. And she said she wanted to apologize to um, Julia for the comment that she said about Russian women, and she wanted to apologize to to Gertie. She kind of apologized to Gertie like an afterthought, and said, I just want to apologize because I think you are an excellent wedding planner and everything. I just think it was just a mis communications and stuff. So Gertie accepted it somewhat, uh, and they took a break. So during the break, the ladies are in the back, chit chatting and whatever. We got Alexis and Marisol, you know, talking about what just happened. And you got Alexis playing as a damn victim, like she's been a victim all season, like everybody comes to her and just attacked her for no reason. She's still playing that card. So we got Nicole and Gertie, because they sharing dressing rooms together. So you got them two talking about what just happened and whatever. And Nicole was like, yeah, she had to apologize to Julia, because of what she said, because she didn't want the backlash. So she was gonna be sincere about that apology. But girl, what she did to you, girl, shoot, she did that as an afterthought. How I bitch, she did. She just threw you a ball, girl. But she ain't. Yeah. The stuff she been doing and playing victim. But she need to apologize. She said she apologized to two people. She need to be apologizing to Adriana for how she didn't scroll her. She didn't scroll her down. Didn't scroll her her smart ass that she calls herself down the phone to find out that this man was not married. She needed to be apologizing to Adriana about that. So they felt like, they're going to try to get her. Hopefully she apologized, but they, like Gertie said, she ain't going to apologize, girl. She ain't going to do none of that. So during this, Alexis ended up going to Julia, because Julia and Adriana shares dressing rooms. So she goes over there saying, girl, Julia, girl, I just came over to tell you that I sincerely apologize for what I did and what I said. And Julia was like, Julia Wayne, Julia Wayne, no, Julia, out there, you sound very sincere. So she said, I accept your apology and stuff. And so this is when Julia started talking to her about, Adriana, their friendship. And she's saying like, Alexa said, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about what she went. Okay, Julia went. Okay, Julia went. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about y'all friendship, because I have known her for 10 years, but you know her longer for over 20 years. So Shay, we were never. She like. Alexa, like, we was never really friends to begin with. It's like, girl, you lying. You was one of her bridesmaids. And when she got married. So don't sit here and tell these bullshitty ass lies. Cause Julia looking at her like, girl, who you fooling? like we never really friends, you know. So I said if y'all, I said now, side note, if y'all was not really friends, so if y'all not truly friends, whatever she said when she compared her foot being injured to your son's accident, it shouldn't be a problem. Cause apparently you ain't that y'all ain't that close. Because if somebody would have said that to you girl, what? If somebody on the street said that to you, it'd be no problem because you move on with your life. But this person you actually knows. So she going in, saying, she said, they were talking about that, and this is when Alexis brought up, she told me about my husband, ex-husband, who the ex-husband that, let's say, husband that passed away. Because they were still married. She told me about my ex-husband and him, supposedly having an affair, and how he dad had an affair after his wedding, what happened at his wedding, and she went, and stuff. I'm like, girl, hold up. Because, Adriana hearing all of it. Adriana like, girl, I told you after the fact of the funeral, what happened at the funeral. So they did a play. So production played it back to when it was after, way after, and stuff. So I told you about how what supposedly happened at the funeral and what people was talking about. That's what I told you about. How he passed. Getting in with his man. But Shay, no, you told me, and you just an awful person. This is why I don't. Shay, why are you talking to me? I'm talking to Julia. Why are you all up in my stuff? All up in here. This is her room too, and I'm talking to her. Adrian, I don't care. Adrian, well, you lying. You lying, girl. You lying. Because I ain't saying nothing wrong. I told you what was told at the funeral, girl. Adrian, I told her what you was told at the funeral, girl. That's what I was telling you. Adriana stayed on that ass. She did not step up. Alexa calling her evil, this, that, awful person. And it's like, girl, Shane, you told me about Shane, he was cheating on me with his lover. And I said, girl, hold up. He wasn't cheating on you. We found out after the fact, supposedly the guy said that they were together. But I'm like, you and your deceased husband, ex-husband, was separated during this time. So you don't know. You didn't find out until after the fact. So he was just, no, girl. No. Because you had a full man for 5 years that you ended up marrying while you were still married. So you trying to say this man plagued you, but he didn't. To me, he didn't plague you. And it's like you put, and Adriana said you outed your dead husband after you outed him, girl, for a storyline. And she did. She did. She know I did. I didn't do that. I didn't do it. It's like you did, girl, you did. And Mia, you did. Because you did, girl. You did do that. You did do that to that man after he was gone. Because that man was a father. He was actually a father figure to your kids. And I want to say he was one of the kids' father, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But, so I'm confused here with you. And it's like you put all his stuff out there like you was truly, girl, you wasn't hurt because you had a man. He wasn't living his, girl, if he wasn't living his, I think he knew, I honestly think your husband knew exactly who he was. I don't know if he was pansexual, bisexual, I don't know. But you outed that man after he was dead and he couldn't defend himself. Because you needed a storyline. So, her and Adriana going back and forth, and she go back to ignore Adriana and get back to her and Julia. And talking to Julia, and start like, girl, I don't want people to think that that we are just mean girls. She started crying and stuff. I'm like, here she go with these fake ass tears. It's like, girl, you is a mean girl. You, Marisol, are mean girls. 100%. You, Marisol Larson, are mean girls. Y'all are. Y'all are true mean girls. Yes, Adriana can be a mean girl every now and then. Every now and then, Adriana is a mean girl, but y'all three are mean girls for no reason. And I don't want them to be, I don't want to be persuaded as a mean girl. And she cried, give these crocodile tears. And you got Adriana Wayne, here you go with them damn crocodile tears. Them fake ass crocodile tears. And they started, and that's when so Adriana started arguing. So Alexa started arguing with her, Adriana again. Yeah, so stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. So you the evil, you the devil. And said that's why you want to be a blind. What? When she was leaving out, you want to be a blind. It's like, girl, what is you talking about? She's the brunette. it, and they showed her in the past. Her hair was when she was married. She did like a lighter, blondish brunette type hair, but that's her business. But she's a true brunette. And girl, blondes don't have more fun. They just bitches. Cause that's what you look. That's what you and your best friend are, bitches. So we get back the host. Andy want everybody back on stage, so we get back to the stage. This is when they bring Kiki out. Kiki comes out and everything. When she came out and sit down, she's sitting on the side where Marisol, Alexis, Lorson, and Lisa is. And when she sat down, one of the girls fell out. So anyway, oh, I missed it. Go shut up, Eddie. So as she sat down, that's when Marisol wanted to get her. She could take. She went, you can take a sip. You can take a sip, girl. A sip. A sip. She went, oh, okay. She went, that's enough, girl. That's enough. I went, girl, don't seem like nothing was in there, cause your ass drunk it all. um. So, yeah, that happened then. So Andy ended up asking Kiki about, telling Kiki about how everybody online was talking about her Whopper moment. And Andrea's and Adriana's music video they were doing. And how pulling out that Whopper because she was pissed. So she ended up telling that, she said, I'm used to eating cold Whoppers because when that was the only thing at one point, that was the only thing that I could afford. I don't eat that. I eat more than that now because I can afford other things. So she said, I just did what I had to do because when Julia and Adriana made me mad, I had to pull out the Whopper. And stuff. So he did a little brief thing about that. Andy ended up going to Julia. He ended up asking Julia a question, asking her, asking her about her child. How can you miss a question about how can you miss your child and your child so much, but you can't remember the school that she goes to? And Julia said she got what was it, HD? She had something. She said something, so she couldn't remember the name of the school. And she said she know her daughter gonna be mad about that, but she said I can't. I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember the name of the school right now. I don't. So it's in Paris. That's all I can tell you. I said, girl. I said, yeah. So she said that's all I can tell you about. Um. So Andy asked Julia about the adoption. How about her and Martinez adopting? Um, Asked her is it on hold and stuff or what's going on about it. And Julia said, since we're going through Martinez, the counselor and stuff, it's on hold right now. We prayed and hoped that maybe the adoption agency would have called us and said there was a baby, but we going once we get through fighting the cancers and stuff, then we'll see about that because it's all about the child. It's all about the child right now. It's about making sure that my wife is 100% and back to herself. So she told that oh when she was telling that about Martina beating the cancer. She said that all the ladies had reached. She said during all the ladies when it came out that the cancer and stuff. She said all the ladies reached out and everything. You know. Then Andy asked about Anna. He asked about some girl that was on here during they had a little break. He asked about some girl named Anna, and they went did a yeah. So they asked about that. Anna, Nicole said that she has talked to Anna and somebody else that was a part of around the girls at that time years ago. Around the girls at that time, she talked to them and stuff and whatever. That's when Alexis was going like Alexis like, I ain't scared. she right. She went, she went, it's what it is. She went, I ain't scared. And Andy White, oh, I know. Wait, the shade, nigga. Those skills of language. The shade, brother. Shade. He is shade. He been shading Alexis a lot doing this. He been shading her a lot. So Andy moved on. He ended up asking. He ended up asking a viewer a question. It was for Gertie about her and her husband. Their sex life and whatever. And since the show and stuff, and she said, yeah, it's been going strong and stuff. And during that, him asking her questions about that, Lawson come in and said that she used to have sex 4 times a night, 4 times in a night, every night for the last 23 years when she was married to Scottie Pippen and stuff. And so everyone, oh God, that's a lot. And Andy went, oh really? And stuff. And she went, yeah, it was all the time. He couldn't keep his hands off of me and stuff. Andy also that's when Andy asked one, wow. Andy went, so Marcus has some big shoes to fill. She went, he good. He wears size 15. I went, girl, what that supposed to mean? That don't mean shit. Cause if you was getting it 4 times in the night, every night, girl, bye. It's like, yeah, she trying to make herself relevant. Like, girl, don't nobody care. Don't nobody really care. So we move on from that. Andy ended up asking a question, asking about he ended up going after that. He's focused on Larson, asking her about asked her how do Scottie Pippen feel about her and Marcus dating, and she said they don't talk about their who they personally or personal life and who they date, and they focus on their kids because their kids are not toddlers. So our kids are not toddlers. They old enough. They got their own phone to call us and all that stuff. She said, other than that, there's nothing else to talk about. So this is when Andy started asking. Andy asked her, so how do, because her oldest son, Scotty Jr., he plays for the Lakers now. So they asked. She said, Andy asked, so how do Scotty Jr. get questions about her dating life, and stuff like that? She said no. Andy asked, have your kids met Marcus Jordan? And she said yes, they have met him. They like him. So sure, So Andy kept pressing on, saying like, how this may look, because Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, were teammates and stuff and all that stuff. And she said, I ain't met. She said she haven't met Michael. She didn't meet Michael Jordan officially till a year ago and stuff. She has hung out with the family and everything. She said during the time that her and Scotty got together, Scotty was in his last year of working with him and Michael Jordan working together on Chicago Bulls. She said so she said, and she said Michael Jordan was going to do a divorce at the time. So she was, we never hung out, we never had family days. So she said, I didn't know him personally or his family. So there's nothing to really be so big about it. And she said, I don't really, and Andy kept pressing on about, you know how this may feel, because if your son, Scotty Jr. ended up with a older woman, and how would she said, as long as if he happy and he in love, it's no problem. All right, okay, girl, if that's, I said at this point, I'm like, I really don't care. I said it seemed like it's a problem. I said it seemed like there's a double standard. To be honest, when a woman is with a younger man, but guys are always with younger women in their 20s, and the girls are their kids' age, but there's no big deal about it. But because she's a woman, it's an issue. And I'm like, he grown. That's a grown 32-year-old man. I said, who cares? I don't. Her kids don't. Because they even said it on there, on the show. The kids that was on there said they do not care about that. They don't care. So, Andy, pressed on about that. Andy ended up asking her, would she change or hyphen her name if she got married? And you had Gertie over at the end. Gertie went, oh my God, she better change it. She better change it. She better change it. And I'm like, I wouldn't change him. I said, I did 32 years with that man, and I said, I earned pimping. I'm keeping pimping. She said, no, I would change my last name. Like, girl, no, you won't. You keeping that last name. Because I said, bitch. Hyphen that bitch. Because it's going to be hyphen. Lawson, pimping, Jordan. Bitch, if it ever come down that road. Bitch, hyphen that bitch. Don't lose that name. I wouldn't. I earned it. But she said she a hyphen it. And Gertie went, thank God. Gertie went, thank God. I said, Gertie, shut up. Because she can hyphen it. If you don't want to hyphen yours, that's on you, girl. So, moving on. We move on to Andy ended up asking Larson another question. Andy ended up showing a clip of Larson and her actions during this season. And then Andy ended up asking, do Larson hit below the belt? So the ladies that's on the opposite side, sitting on the opposite side of Larson now, on the other side that is Gertie, Nicole, Julia, and Adriana. They all said yes, she do hit below the belt. And Gertie went, that's just Larson. She went, that's just her. it's like, girl, you know you stupid, but it is. She went, that's just her. Larson Pimpin. Gertie was like, shit. And Kiki was like, if Kiki was defending her and Marisol started defending Larson, Kiki said, if somebody come for you, I'm gonna come back. It's like, it's what it is. Won't be, don't want nothing, won't be nothing. It won't. But it's like, but I said, if she hits below the belt, I said, that's all Alexis does. Alexis and Marisol, that's all they actually do is hit below the belt. But it seems like it's a bigger issue when Larson do it, which don't make any sense to me. But okay. So, as that was said, okay, so when Marisol started defending Larson with Kiki, that's when Andy said so she do hit below the belt because the first season of Miami, she got in your mama ass. The ass is the add on for me. Got in your mama ass about said something. She went, yeah, she did. So they did a recap of the reunion one and all that stuff. And I said, them bitches looked totally different. Shit. Larson and Marisol. Marisol looked like two other people. When they showed their reunion, I went, damn. Them are two totally different individuals to what we see now. They look nothing like they looked then. Then they look like normal people. Now they look like, yeah, they got money and they spending it like it's golden. So, Marisol said, yeah, we had issues then, but we love each other. We love each other and stuff, and we good now. So we move on from there. We move on to Andy end up asking Julia. He asking Julia about the kiss, kissing a man after Larson told her. Julia was like, yes. He asked, why did you didn't, after being told, why did you deny it? You ended up denying it, but then saying it. Now you're saying that, oh, it happened. Saying, yes, it did happen, and it's her best friend. He's a designer. She said she's wearing his clothes right now and stuff, and I'm like, girl, why would you lie about it? I said, she went, you could have came, she talking to Lawson, you could have came to me, you could have called me. Lawson said, I did call you. I couldn't get in touch with you. So when I knew I was going to see you, I told you. And she went, you still could have called me again. And she went, like I said, I thanked you, so I told you. I already tried to call you, and you didn't answer, so. Oh, yeah. So we move on from there. We move on to Andy asking about he moved on to Lisa about the Lisa and Larson big beef, big old stupid ass fight, saying mortgage. Like, Lisa, do you know about a mortgage, girl? He went, that was the stupidest fight ever. She went, yeah, I know. He went, I got a lot of mortgages. So why you didn't know rich folks have mortgage? It's like he just been shading these hoes the whole time. And Lisa was like, I did know. She went, I knew, but she went at the time, I felt like Larson was coming for me. And so she went, I had, before Lenny blindsided me and left me, blindsided me and left me, I was defending him because I didn't know what was going. I didn't know what it was or whatever. I didn't know he can get in trouble or whatever. And I'm like, girl, stop playing stupid. It's like, that's your problem. That's one of your problems, Lisa. Stop playing stupid. Act like you got some sense. Act like you got a brain up there. Because you knew what you were doing to get this man. And you've been with this man for over 20-something years. So, girl, stop playing dumb. So, she played all into that. We move on to... we move on to Andy end up asking a viewer question to Larson. Saying, as in Larson, you weaponize. It seems like you weaponize things against your your own friends. And Larson said, it's not that. Larson said, it's not that, you know. Andy asked a question. Next question was, where do you get your information on people from? And Larson was like, it just fall. The stuff just drop. The stuff. I just get the stuff. It falls in my lap. I said, bitch, whatever worked for you. Andy was like, asked her. Andy asked another question about. Andy asked a question to Marisol about how she get her shit, her info to all 411 about whole Miami, and get the tea on people. Marisol, she answered it, but I really tuned her out at that point because I like she kind of answered it, but she didn't because she was going in. She went, I get stuff about people and all this stuff, and it's like Andy. I want to, if I remember right, Andy. I think he asked her like, why do you do you use it or whatever, and she really didn't answer it. And I think to me, Marisol gets everything about everybody because she's one of them girls I believe that use that stuff to get what she wants in Miami. Period. It may work on some people, but it ain't gonna work on a lot of people. But she's one of them people that has information on her friends to use to her advantage. Is what I really get from Marisol. Um, when that happened, this started the girls started arguing. You got Nicole arguing with Larson and Marisol jumping in, and it's like it was a back and forth. Andy had to yell and stuff. Larson ended up during the argument. Larson said that she have a real job to Nicole, and Andy told her like, she's a doctor. Girl, she's a doctor. So why would you say you have a real job? She's a doctor. So Larson was just doing Larson. Larson started going off again after he said that she's a doctor. Larson started going off again about everything. This is when Julia came in. Julia ended up saying, when my wife was having surgery and stuff, she went the one person here that I actually truly 100% trust out of all these girls. That I trust is Nicole, because Nicole was one of the doctors that were I seen her work when she at the hospital. When my wife had surgery, she was one of the doctors in on the surgery, and she went, so I trust her and stuff. So she gave that and stuff. When she did that, after she said that, that's when Larson and Nicole started arguing again about their issue and stuff. So Andy asked the question, he asked a question on what? He asked something. Oh, he ended up asking Nicole what was the beef with Larson, and Nicole said, what was okay. Andy asked what was Anthony, the husband, what was his beef with Larson. So Nicole ended up saying the beef that he had with her was when she said, y'all had kids out of wedlock. So he went, that was his beef. His beef with her was she came for his child, so he came for that ass. And Larson feeling like he don't need to talk. He can't. He called me a hooker. That's my word. He called her a hoe because he don't want her around. They what was it? The driver or something, or the gardener or something, because she's a hoe. He said she's a hoe. She go to, and he just got married. She gonna break that home up. So Larson is mad at Nicole and her husband. So yeah. So we uh so yeah. So she says that Andy end up saying asking that he ended up saying to to Larson that that was a asshole thing to say. Yeah, said it was an asshole thing to say to Larson. And Andy then started talking about Andy switched over to the invitation that goes into Larson. That invitation was priceless. Talk about the invitation that was sent to Larson. It uninvite her ass. And you got Marisol dumbass saying like, you ain't that smart to even come up with that. I said, girl, you need to shut up. You drunk all the damn time, bitch. You don't even know your own face. So Andy ended up asking like, so who was the one that came up with? Nicole said it was me and Grace. Like me and Grace came up with that. How my bitch. That was some priceless shit right there, cause she did that. That was priceless, and they showed the recap of it. I'm like, bitch. That's what our ass get. That mouth of yours need to shut up. I said, and I have another thing about that. Like, I don't know. Like, you uninvited her. But that was priceless. Moving on. We're gonna move on to what was the next one? So Andy ended up asking Julia about okay, so he ended up asking Julia how she felt about the invitation that Nicole said, and Julia said it was the funniest thing she ever said. It's British it's a British humor is what she did. So she said it was the funniest shit I ever seen. She said it was so funny. See why I can't even lie. It was priceless, girl. It was. And you had Lawson sit over there, sit up there with that look like, bitch. She didn't know what to do. That hoe didn't know what to do about that whole thing. Cause she was shook like it was that was funny as hell because that bitch was lost. He didn't have a clue. So Andy asked it. He ended up from there. He ended up moving on to asking Larson. He asked Larson, "Is she Do she have any remorse for the things that she have said this season?" And Larson said, she said, yeah. She said, um, she said, what I said about, she said, what she said about Nicole, uh, she felt that it wasn't right, and whatever. That's about it that she said. They end up taking a break, another break. Okay, they ended up taking a break, and during the break, the ladies, went back to dressing rooms, were talking about what just happened. Lawson didn't understand why, they were talking, why Nicole's husband come after her and all this stuff because she wanted to talk about her and Marcus. That's what she wanted to talk about. But I said, when Andy was talking about you and your man, you didn't want to talk about it. So, girl, shut up with the lie. So, they show that. Then we go back to after break. We got Andy. He ended up asking Kiki about her dating life and everything. And Kiki said, she's still single. She said these men in Miami are just like Lenny. She said they just like Lenny, so she's still single. I said, bitch, shut up, girl. So Andy ended up asking another question. He asked, all the ladies, did anybody know about, anybody have any clue about about Lenny cheating or suspicions? And it was Gertie. Gertie said that there was a scene that they did not show. Lisa had a charity event, and everybody, there's a certain section of wherever they was at. He didn't want to come behind the red rope on their side, so they showed it. And Gertie was like, excuse me, Gertie was like, we were begging him to come over. He said, no, I'm good over here and stuff like that. She said that right there was a signal that, yeah, he up to no good. They gave her that he was up to excuse me, he was up to no good and all that stuff. Um that's when Lisa ended up giving her 2 cents. Lisa said he's always been antisocial, socially awkward. Um Socially awkward. That always been him. And so Andy ended up asking her, is it not possible that you wasn't blindside? That you weren't blindside. So Lisa went, yeah, as that was, she went, as he was working out, she said that kind of made her think that something was up because she been trying to get him to work out the last 15 years that they've been married. She been trying to get him to work out, eat right, and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, he working out and eating right now. Yeah, so she said, and I was blind. She said I was blindsided. I said, bitch, you was not blindsided, girl, because you already know when I know good ass ninja start working out, eating right, getting not just their body together, but they face together, everything together, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Cause ain't no all of a sudden if you've been trying for 15 years to get this ball moving in that direction and this person ain't never did it. Come on, girl. So, but she said she was blindsided. And she's sticking to that. So Andy asked about the Halloween event that happened, and he asked, he says, you're divorcing, but you had a Halloween party. And Lisa explained, yeah, I know. I didn't want to do it, but she went, he lives for the Halloween party. And I'm like, huh? She said he lives for the Halloween party, and I'm still at that point where I can't just tell him no. I'm like, how can't you tell him no? You tell your kids no. You tell them no. You can tell that no good for nothing. No. At any point. But you went, so we threw the party and Eddie went, so how many people come to the party? It's a 600 people come to that party every year. I'm like, is you serious? And you couldn't say no? Sure, because we live in the same house. You know, I really can't tell him. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can tell him hell to the motherfucking no. Take that shit to a venue. Because this house is not in order for that. Period. And you can do that. But you trying to please this no good for nothing sorry ass man that been treating you like dirt for over 32, 33 years total together, because y'all been together for that long. I said he been treating you like that your whole entire relationship, and you accepted it. And you getting divorced, and you are still allowing this sorry excuse for a person to treat you like shit. And you got a good man now. A good man, Savannah. A good man, girl. You got you a good one. And you still letting this sorry excuse for a man treat you the way he does. Get out of here, Lisa. So, continuing on, after that, Andy ended up asking Kiki what she had to say, and Kiki told that she knows that before she actually knew Lisa personally, she didn't know Lisa. She used to be invited to all the events because of the event person that they may have, and the promoters. So she was always invited. So she ended up telling that it was going off. So she ended up telling that, she had seen him hooked up with a lot of the girls that who are invited to the party. She said he been cheating on you for a minute. And that's where it went off at. And I'm like, this is some straight up shit. I said, it get juicier. I said, like, Lisa, wake up. Wake up. I said, you better take him for everything he owns. And I mean everything. I will leave him with nothing. Only thing he can do is go to work and make my money. Period. And I make sure his mama ain't got nothing either, because I'm that petty bitch. I'm that petty bitch because, bitch, you betrayed me for your sorry excuse for a child. Bitch, I'm taking all your shit. At the end of the day, that's what I would have did 100%. And girl, do it. But that's all. Like, subscribe, comment, share on all social medias. It's your boy Paul Brantley. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I'll get back at y'all later.